What's going on, everyone? We are in Myrtle Inlet, South Carolina. We're at Huntington Beach State Park. We're gonna check out what this park has to offer on our trip to Myrtle Beach. So check it out. We're gonna try to find some cool shells. We're gonna see what wildlife we can see, go through the forest. We don't know, but stay tuned. Let's see what we can find.
I just found this crab right here, dead one.
So what are we gonna do?
Scare Brayden.
That is right. We like to get goofy on the beach. We're gonna put it down. We're gonna pretend like we found the crab, and then we're gonna flip it at Brayden.
Find a hole, and then like put it halfway in. Then I'm gonna grab it and throw it at Brayden. He's all the way up there.
Do you think he'll flip out if we throw it at him? Do you think he'll flip? All right. So everyone watching, you heard what Luca's gonna do.
We have to find a shell by Brayden.
We gotta find a shell by Brayden, like a hole. We're gonna pretend we caught the crab. We're gonna flip it at Brayden.
No, we're gonna put it in the hole. Then I'm gonna grab it and throw it at him.
Okay. So we're gonna find a crab hole. We're gonna point to it, and then we're gonna flip it at Brayden. And then we're gonna see if Brayden flinches. So go to the comments right now and let us know if you think Brayden's gonna flinch at all. So we gotta find a hole. We gotta go by the bank right now. So we gotta sell this. We gotta go by the bank and be like, oh my God, we found a crab. And then we're gonna flip it at Brayden. And then we're gonna see if we're gonna flinch. So let us know in the comments right now. Does Brayden flinch? Yes or no? We found a crab! We found a crab! Here comes Brayden. Found a crab! Ready? Flip it at him in a second. Catch it, Luca! Catch it! Catch it! Catch it! Catch it! Flip it at him! Flip it at him! Ah! Alright, folks. If you said Brayden was gonna flinch, you are absolutely correct. We played the prank on Brayden. We found the dead crab. We flipped it at him. He definitely did flinch. He ran over here just like we thought he would. High five. Yes, we got him flinch. Luca, high five. We sold it really good. That was awesome. So if you said Brayden was gonna flinch in the comments, you are absolutely correct. We'll be right back. Let's see what else we can find. So the sand here is so much nicer than what it was in Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach was like gray and like big shells and rocks. Here's a fine shell. So Brayden already found the best new shell. So this is a clam shell right here. You can see they're nice and thick. But man, this beach sand is nice. Super soft, very light. Water looks amazing. The beach is pretty chill. Definitely not as crazy as Myrtle Beach. So if you go up to like Cherry Grove or down to Myrtle Inlet, way less people on the beach, better chance to find shells if you're into shelling. Also, there's a lot of bird watchers here right now. They have crocs, probably more in the summer. It's a little bit a little bit cooler today. It's about 60 degrees, so crocs might be hibernating already, but the sand looks great. So we are along the banks by the beach for two reasons. One, the sand is way warmer on our feet, and two, these are where the ghost crabs or the crabs live in the banks. And check out some of these crab holes. So somewhere down there is a good sized crab, so we're gonna keep an eye out. And the way you can tell when they're fresh, you can see these trails like this. You know it's a fresh or an active hole if you see the trails like that of the crab. So if you ever go ghost crabbing at nighttime, one is go by the bank. Two is look for right here. So this is perfect. So you can see these crab tracks. So this is like super active. And you can also find big ones right here in the bank. We had some cool birds up here. Oh my God, the sand feels so warm on our feet. Luca, what do you think, buddy?
Now sand is soft.
What do you think of this beach? Here's like I've never seen a bug like this. Look, green eyes on this thing. This is insane. It's like some kind of like dragonfly or fly, and it's got green eyes. That is so cool. And look how close we're getting to it. That is so crazy. Got some big crab holes. Active. So that usually the crabs come out first thing in the morning or at nighttime. So right at dusk is when they start coming out, and they hunt at nighttime. So if we find a crab right now on the sand, it'll be pretty rare, but we are gonna look for a crab because Braden and Luca are the masters at finding the crab holes and finding the crabs. So we're gonna keep a lookout. And they're camouflage, so they're the same color of the sand. Definitely active crab hole. I mean, that is a ginormous hole right down there. That thing is huge. What do you think, Braden?
Scary.
Braden says scary. Yeah, it's probably a massive crab. So we're looking for so any type of wildlife. Crabs, birds. So pro shelling chip. You find like the little collection ponds where the waves are at high tide. They deposit a lot of shells, and you can see some cool different shells like this shell. That is pretty cool. It's a little broken, but yeah, you have these like weird ones. You have some oyster shells. You have clam shells. So right here where they deposit, you can find some different stuff. Let me see if we can see like a little broken piece of coral. That's always a good find. And I'll show you what it looks like if we can find some. But you got a lot of oyster, a lot of clam shells. I mean, it's crazy how crunchy they are. These little mollusks, these things you could dig out of the sand. That's like the little birds with the long beaks. These are what they eat. They know how to crack them open. Here's a pretty good clam shell. I mean, it's not broken, pretty good, so you can find that. This was a ginormous clam shell. This is like a scallop shell right there. Find anything cool, Luca?
Not yet. I'm trying to find the coral.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
There's a piece of sand dollar right here. It's really hard to find a full sand dollar that's not broken, but I mean, that is pretty cool. You can see like that kind of leaf pattern on top, which is their trademark. Here's a really good thick clam shell. I mean, look how thick this thing is. That is pretty insane. Luca found another one. So what you want to do is go to like the state parks. If you go to a popular beach, it's really going to be hard to find shells. So along the banks, that's always a good spot. Along the bay side, if there's a beach on the bay side, like when we go to St. Andrews State Park in Florida by Panama City Beach, we find all our best shells actually on the bay side. So state parks where there was a high tide that became low tide, would deposit a ton of shells. You'll know it's because if you look at the sand, you can see right here the sand is one color and it goes to a different color, and then that is a good sign you're going to find these shell deposits like this. So Luca's trying to find that piece of coral. Haven't found a piece of coral yet. Mom spotted a dolphin. It's a little bit out there. We'll try to catch it. We saw it popping up. It was right around here, working its way down the current. So we'll see if we can catch the dolphin for y'all. It was somewhere right around here. It's got to come up for air at some point. We just don't know if it's still around here or not. So that was cool. We've seen some crab. Yeah, it's way out there. I just saw it pop up. There they are. There's two dolphins. There's two dolphins right here. Their fins just popped up together. That's so cool. There's two of them. They'll pop up again in a second. The next time they need to come up for air. They're right around here. They must be looking for some food. There they are. There they are, right? That is awesome. That is so awesome. We've seen so much nature today. Fun family trip. We showed you all, watch our other video. We did medieval times dinner. It was so much fun. I was actually pleasantly surprised. The food was actually really good. So they give you like a whole half of a roasted chicken on a rotisserie. And I was like, all right, we're coming here for the show. Food's gonna kind of suck, but the chicken was actually really, really, really good. The show was awesome. We had some, you know, kind of medieval type drinks with our dinner. Kids had a blast. It's a really good time. There's only like 7 or 8 of them in the United States, but there's one of them in Myrtle Beach. So definitely check out right now the card. So if you look at the top, you have the card for the medieval times video. So if you want to see what you can expect at medieval times, check out that video.